It's easy for humans to express love. Whether you can or not is a personal matter. But when it comes down to dogs, things get a little more complicated. We never know what their yowling and woofs might mean. But one thing you know for sure is that when they start sniffing your couch, they're definitely in love with you. And that's not even the weirdest thing they do. Keep watching to find out why they pee when they see you. Here are 10 ways your dog shows they love you. Before we begin, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you want a hug from this little guy. Number 10. They sniff your crotch. Crotch sniffing isn't unusual for dogs. If they can go around sniffing each other's butts, why not this? Sometimes it's not even to embarrass you, but to try to understand their intentions before you turn red. For dogs, their dominant sense is the sense of smell, which is how they gather most of their intel. You might have heard of a special kind of chemical called pheromones that can convey information about sex, age, health, and even the mood of the individual. When it comes to humans, glands that secrete pheromones, apocrine glands, are found only in certain places, which happens to be the armpits and the crotch area. Not so pleasant, but it's the thought that counts. When dogs come over and sniff you right in the groin, it means that they're trying to greet you and basically ask you how you're doing, which is very cute if you think about it. Number 9. They get jealous. There's no one more territorial than canines. Maybe geese, but we're focusing on pups here. When you have a dog you give all your attention to, they get used to it. So when another dog, cat, or even goose enters the picture, they can actually get jealous. In fact, there was an experiment done on this. About 18 dogs were placed in a room along with a fake dog and a fleece cylinder. Every time the owner would pet the fleece cylinder, the dogs barely cared. However, when the owner pet the fake dog, they would actually start barking and pulling on their leash. Dogs are actually one of the few species that display jealous behavior. Since it's not a primary emotion, this just makes the animal cognition more interesting. So to answer your question, yes, your dog can smell other dogs on you. Maybe don't get too close to other pups now that you know this. Number 8. They play with your shoes and socks. As we said before, dogs have an insanely strong sense of smell, about 1,000 to 100,000 times better than ours. They associate smells with everything, and in the dog world, the more pungent the smell, the better it is. You might think that Chanel No. 9 is your signature scent, but your pup would think otherwise. To them, the smelliest and grossest socks and underwear are a haven. Socks and underwear are garments that we keep to ourselves a lot, obviously, and to them, that is one piece of garment they love. It simply reminds them of you, and when you're not there, your sweaty clothes are their favorite things. It doesn't necessarily have to be undergarments. They would love to sleep with anything that you wear a lot. They might even chew on it if you've discarded them on the floor. Number 7. They pee when you get home because of excitement. You already know what it means when your dog wags his tail like he's playing tennis with it. But even the puddle of pee they leave behind is a confession of affection and love. In fact, it's ironically the purest form of showing love since it's completely instinctual. It's called submissive urination, and it's very common in puppies who haven't been trained yet. This actually happens when dogs are incredibly excited to see you, but it can also occur when they're feeling shy, anxious, or even scared. Don't worry, it's not unusual, and your dog isn't broken either. They just do this to acknowledge that the other is dominant, which happens to be the owner in this case. If you're lucky, your pup might outgrow this behavior over time. But if it doesn't, training them can help them be more controlling of their own bladder. What a messy love it is between a man and his canine. Number 6. They dream of you. This might not be an obvious sign at all, but if science tells us something, you believe it. Scientists have found out that dogs dream about their owners since they're just as attached to humans as we are to them, maybe even more. It's actually quite common for them to think about your face or smell while they sleep. The only way to ensure they have good dreams is to give them good daytime experiences just like you would with your children. So if you give your dog lots of treats and walks during the day, you can rest assured that they're dreaming of playing catch with you. When dogs' brains were scanned, it was found that they have voice-sensitive regions that can detect emotion, much like the ones humans have. Moreover, we have very similar sleeping patterns, so there's no surprise that they have complex and exciting dreams like us. Number 5, they stare at you while they poop. Giving dogs privacy during their bathroom time might work for them. Usually, they like to make direct eye contact while going number 2, which is quite gross but also meaningful in dog language. When they're busy doing their business, they're putting themselves in a position. They don't know what might scare them from behind. That's why when they look at you while pooping, they're telling you they trust you. In fact, they're expecting you to stand guard to protect them. This trusting behavior is a remnant of their ancestral ways. In the wild, the other pack members would have their backs if they are doing vulnerable activities. So technically, they're giving you the poop-protecting police authority. Other than that, just maintaining eye contact has been proven to produce a psychological bond. Considering that dogs don't pick up awkward cues like you, they're probably just doing it out of love. Number 4, they follow you to the bathroom. We've already established that dogs don't have manners and don't need them either. Furthermore, they don't have any basic bathroom manners either, and it's not their fault at all. If you find yourself running to the bathroom and closing the door in a hurry and worrying about your dog following you, just stop for a moment and indulge the fact that they're doing this because they can't bear to be without you. Not just that, they see you as a part of the family and have complete trust in you. They're not playful when they follow you around. They're doing it because they are spending time with you. It's their way of saying thank you for taking care of them. However, if your dog doesn't follow you to the bathroom, it doesn't mean they don't love you. Some breeds are more independent and don't need to be with you 24/7. If you have a clingy breed, then keep running to take a leak. Number 3, they bring your broken objects. Humans give each other pretty flowers and thoughtful presents to show their love. On the other hand, dogs will give you a dead animal or a toy with its seams ripping. Dogs are weird, and when they give you broken objects, they're putting their faith in you to fix them. You certainly can't breathe life into dead birds, and maybe you can sew back the toy. It's especially important when they bring you a dead animal. It's extremely unsettling. But they think they're just trying to provide for you. Many genes, such as terriers and spaniels, were all bred and used for their hunting abilities. And when they bring you a piece of dead meat, they're just doing what their genes are programmed to do. However, this behavior is definitely more prominent in dogs with hunting genes. Number 2, they rub their face on you. If a dog is nuzzling their face into you during the first meeting, then you should be happy that they think you're worthy of being a friend. Whenever dogs meet a new person, they have to pass the sniff test. After a thorough sniff comes the decision of whether or not you're a good friend. These nuzzles can mean that they're actually inviting you to be their friend and even asking you to reciprocate the affection. However, a good regular nuzzle session means they're coming to you for comfort, much like they go to their mothers for the same love. The best part about dogs is that they can detect when you're sad. When they sense that, they get ready for a seriously intense nuzzle session. Number 1, they'll groan and sigh. For us, sighing and groaning means an easy reason for parents to ground their kids, but it's quite different for dogs. Dogs sigh with their eyes half closed to communicate pleasure. It could be when you're petting them or you've given them some kind of really good treats. Soft vocalizations are just them telling you that they feel safe and comfortable. We know we're crying too. Alright, comment below what cute habit your dog has that has brought you to tears. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to InfoLab, and we'll see you in the next one.